What is up, dudes, dudettes, and all my beautiful people of the interwebs? Bloody Knuckles here, aka the Gothic Gamer, and your resident anime king. And it is Saturday, so it is time to go beyond. Welcome to the United States of Smash with the Smash Podcast. And I gotta say, today's a good day. There's so much good news coming out, so many trailers, so many wonderful things coming out. But most importantly, we have some new announcements for new seasons coming from the anime side of things, but definitely new trailers for a lot of things coming up and things that I know I'm certainly excited for, and I know our panel has quite a few things to say about some of this. Now, unfortunately, some of our panels going to be missing because some are coming in late. One's not going to be able to make it right now. But right now, you know, I'm always here for you people. And, of course, I got my partner in crime, the resident fraud, who's working on his pedigree right now. Give it up for my boy, Operations. What's going on with your app?
What's good? What's up, everybody? What's up, man? It's good to be here tonight, bro. Like, we got a lot of good topics tonight, too. And, like, this week, bro, for some reason, I rewatched Dragon Ball Super, like, 3 times. But I finally managed to get around to see the My Hero Academia 2 Heroes movie.
It's about time, bro.
I know, man. That bootleg finally went up. Like, oh, it's good quality.
She's like that bootleg.
But no, nobody bootleg. Like, hopefully later on when it comes. No, it already dropped. Yeah, I can hopefully catch it later on. But yeah, that movie is really good. Like, lately, My Hero and Dragon Ball, so far, it's like the 2 best shonen movies I have seen. Because, like, One Piece, I don't want to touch that. I watched one of, I think there's only one from 7 Days Since, maybe more. That one, I did not like it at all. It was really unwelcome for me. So, like, shonen movies left really bad taste in my mouth. But so far, these 2 actually paved the way for me to try even different ones as well, or ones I haven't seen before. Because, like, they're pretty good. And some old ones could be pretty dope, too. So, you know, why not?
Oh yeah, you're not even joking, dude. The Broly film as well as 2 Heroes was just phenomenal animation, just next level, and really set the bar for what a shonen film could be. Like,
right.
Like Super Broly honestly surprised me. I think it surprised a lot of people. But dude, 2 Heroes just it's so good. The fighting in that movie is so great. It's literally top notch.
And like it really like it holds up, not holds up well, but like it doesn't feel all that detached from the My Hero universe as well. Because you know some show movies feel like it's like a little separate thing. Like, but it feels like really blends it with it really well. When how the characters act and everything seems like it just fits. It's hard to explain for me, but like I don't know, it just works. That's how hard to say it just works.
No, you're not wrong, dude. It really does work just perfectly well because of the fact that it does sit in the universe, and they made it sit well in the universe. They explained why it is the way that it is, where it's coming from, and everything. So it absolutely works because of the fact that they explain where it stands in the story. They didn't try to do too much. They didn't try to push it out or just like shoehorn it in. No, they explained where it fits in the story, and it wasn't anywhere like too far out of place. Like, it makes sense on where it is with the explanation of where it is. And that was one of the things that I was worried about, right? Because, like, if we look at a lot of films, sometimes they're put too far in the past or too far in the future, and it's like, all right, well, how's this going to play later on, especially when there's things that are going on in the film that we obviously don't see if it's set in an earlier before where it currently is. And that was my worry about, you know, 2 Heroes, especially when we know about, you know, Deku having the little arm brace and we see him being able to use his arm again. But they explain the whole purpose of that in the film, and then explained why it doesn't show up later. And I was like, okay, this makes sense. And now they're introducing those characters into the main story now, so we're gonna see some of those characters returning later on in the story.
Right. Like, as far as talk about stuff that makes sense, unfortunately, Dragon Ball Super, really, there's one thing that really ticked me off while I watched. I don't know if I talked about when I talked about spoiler cast for it, but like, the fact that Goku can trade blows with like Broly, he was like charged up like a second time after he just got done fighting Vegeta in his Super Saiyan God form. I'm like, come on now. Are you saying base Goku can trade blows with Broly? Is even on par with Vegeta's on God form? Like, nah, bro.
Yeah,
nah.
You gotta remember though. I'll say this: the only thing I will say is that Goku has more technique, whereas technique compared to where you know, Vegeta had nothing but raw power. Vegeta's always been a pure powerhouse, and his techniques are always kind of like unrefined. But you gotta remember that the only saving grace, and I'm not even going to damage control this. The only thing I'll say to explain it is the fact that Goku had actual martial arts training as a kid growing up. So he has the technique, as we saw the way that he was kind of tossing Broly around. But once Broly put that work in, oh, you know he bodied the boy, which was therapeutic. Like, seriously, Goku deserved to get bodied like the way that he was getting disrespected, and it was well deserved.
Right.
Seriously, if anyone's watched that film, they'll know the disrespect that he got, and it was absolutely like the best thing, because Goku can be a little shit.
Right, especially all the shit he causes throughout the lore and just the film itself, not the film, the movie, no, the series as well. Yeah. So I see him get his work, like, it's just like a love letter to fans. It's just tired seeing this shit.
Yep, pretty much. Just, oh man, it was absolutely beautiful. I tell you, man, it was something that was great. But be that as it may, it's good that you finally caught up and started and saw those films, especially Two Heroes, because the fact that we got an announcement about that, right? For those who don't know, My Hero just put out there was a post made on Twitter from one of the animators talking about where the script is and currently what they're doing with the new season, and giving an update that they're recording the voices now. So that means they already done a lot of the animatics and done a lot of the animation. Now they're actually going and recording the voice acting. Well, we know that they still have another 6 months before it goes live in October. But right shortly around the same time that tweet went out, we also got teased from JC's what's the studio that's doing this? I was about to say JC Staff, and I was like, no, that's not right.
Bones?
Yeah, Studio Bones. No, Studio Bones is the one who's doing Hero. And from their Twitter, they announced that they do have a second movie project in the works, which makes me happy. Yeah,
that's true.
Because of the fact that, one, I legitimately, no lie, I went and saw Two Heroes 3 times. I saw it twice. I saw it twice in sub, and then once in dub, because I went with my roommate, then I went with a friend, or a couple friends of mine, and then I went by myself and saw it again because it was just so good. I was like, I have to support this film. Like, it was so good. I was like, and I don't even regret that I went to go see it 3 times because it was well worth it.
Why should you, bro? Good film. Go see it. Make something you can, bro. Like, what? Soul King saw Black Panther 6, 7 times?
7 times
in like a week.
In a week. 7 times in a week.
Like, nah, slurs, man.
Yeah, but man, I was just like, it was so worth it. I was so happy. Literally, the final fight with Deku and All Might versus the dude who was using all the souped up quirk juice. Oh, dude, the double Detroit smash.
Bro, that was straight Mac, berserk on, and he put the little enhancement on. Like, bro, okay,
I know, right? I told you when you saw that scene that you would understand what I mean when I said DDS, and it was phenomenal. Like, that whole spot right there, that animation for the fight was just pure god tier animation. But that scene alone, just seeing them like power up to do a double Detroit smash, dude, that was so dude, I was crying. I was legitimately crying.
I know, bro. I can feel you. I can understand that. Like, didn't the All for One versus One for All fight win like best animated fight of the year last year?
It did for last year. Which
did they go on before the movie drop?
I think it did, but honestly, I feel like the movie fight should have won because that was so much better. It was honestly so much better.
Yeah, for me, like personally, the Naruto, Boruto fight when he fought versus
I thought Boruto was trash.
That fight's the time.
Hey, that fight scene though is legit.
It really got snuffed, man. It should have won. People's feelings propelled the All versus overall fight to winning pretty much because the first choreography, like action, like it does not touch the Boruto fight.
Yeah, it really didn't, and I even went back and I was just like, dude, honestly, I would say that I feel like Naruto and Sasuke versus what was it, Momoshiki? I honestly feel like that fight should have won. Like I was like, and I'm not even the hardcore Naruto fan. I was like, the Boruto defender's not here tonight, but you know, he was all for that fight, and even my boy JD from Tick Games Network, as well as from the Otaku Fix, me and him were talking.
Mm-hmm.
He was just like, that fight should have won. I was just like, yeah. I was like, I wasn't feeling it, but I was like, it definitely wasn't All Might versus One for All.
Definitely.
Yeah, I can't remember which fight I said. I said it was something else, but he was just like, nah. He's like, it should have gone to Boruto. I was like, nah. I wasn't feeling that. To everyone in the chat who's stopping by, did anyone see any of these films? Did they see? Did y'all see Dragon Ball Super Broly or My Hero Two Heroes? And if you did, which is your favorite fights, scenes, and stuff like that? Kind of want to get y'all's thoughts on that. But now that we got the good news about the second film coming out, because every time we talk about Hero Aka, we always end up going left on it, and we could talk about it forever.
Right.
We're going to start off with some other news that's coming out that has me excited. And they released a brand new trailer for John Wick 3 Parabellum. And oh my God, everyone here who's seen knows that I am an action movie aficionado. Like, I will sit there and can talk about martial arts films and action films across all things. And John Wick literally is that film that brought back Keanu Reeves his entire career. Like, honestly, he did a couple movies like before this, but they were kind of duds since his last, especially since like Constantine. All right, the Constantine film, Keanu, I love you, bro, but that wasn't it, Chief. That was not it. Like, that was the downfall for Keanu. But the first John Wick film, that was like, that put him right back in the spotlight for the right reasons, because of the fact that one, he actually took the time to do all the choreography himself. Dude is still kicking the choreography himself. He actually took the time to train with guns to do all the gunplay himself for that film, and literally just played this like old-hearted like badass like perfectly in like his middle ages. Like, he did what Ben Affleck should have been doing with Batman, you know, after BVS, but Keanu Reeves does it much better.
Right.
And I was like, dude, John Wick, I'm so excited for this film. Like, literally, that trailer got me so hyped for the new one because of all the new characters they're introducing, the way they're setting up the story, what the hell is happening after he gets excommunicado from the Intercontinental, and the fact that Winston is still going out of his way to help him. I'm just like, yo, is Winston going to be burning bridges to help the boy? And then the fact that he met, who is that? I can't remember her name. I don't know why I want to say Halle Berry. I know it's not Halle Berry.
She is in the movie.
What was she? Was that her?
Yeah.
Okay, so I wasn't going crazy.
No. You don't go crazy with Halle Berry. You see her, you know it's her.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I was like, who? I was like, why do I know that woman? And the fact that I know she's done action films, and I was like, that's Halle Berry. I was like, that's my immediate thought. I was like, it's always Halle Berry. I was like, wait, no. Was it? Was it? I was like, yeah, no, it is. Yeah, no. Halle Berry. Yeah, Halle Berry played his partner Sophia, and I wouldn't know their history, but dude, her in that action scene with her dogs, and the fact that his dog's missing. What happened to the new dog? I need to know. These are the questions I need answers to.
Bro, like I don't think I dropped that thread in the other DM, but like the memes for this movie were alone, especially the Avengers the Fallen.
Oh yeah, the Avengers the Fallen. It's him holding the dog as it's disappearing. I've seen that meme, dude. It's so great.
Bro, there's like so many different variants to that shit. It's hilarious, bro. Especially, of course, all ones involving Thanos.
Oh, dude, those are always great. It's just, and then like the Avengers the Fallen, and it's him in the Avengers like spacesuit that they're all in when they're all getting ready to go on the Quinjet or whatever to go after Thanos. Oh my god, that one's one of my favorites.
Bro, I'm thinking like the most fucked up one I saw was like Thanos came like, where's the Soul Stone? No, it was like, where's the Soul Stone? It isn't that dog? And he ripped it apart. Like, is that your place? Like, wait for it. And Keanu like, where's my dog, y'all? He's like, oh shit.
But dude, I'm so excited.
Like, the best one I seen was like, let's see Thanos like after Infinity War. He's like sitting on his little little hut, just looking at the sunset. It's like a Photoshop picture of Keanu Reeves behind him, pointing a gun at his head.
I've seen that one
Oh,
too. It's
bro.
great. It's pretty
Bro,
good,
I
dude.
I couldn't stop for like,
The memes for John Wick are always great because of the fact that it's literally him causing chaos everywhere he goes, because it's just like, how can we give John Wick a reason to go and mess up these characters? And it's
right.
always phenomenal. I love it every time.
I know, man. But memes aside, I'm really excited for this movie, bro. Like, hopefully it'll be the first one I'll be able to catch in theaters, because like the first John Wick, I kind of like, what was it, a rental? The second one, I didn't have a chance to get in theaters. I caught afterwards. So hopefully I can see this one in theaters.
Oh,
But
dude, you
before I do
gotta
that,
see this in theaters. And like,
I
for
have to
anyone who's
explain.
going, you have to see this in the IMAX. Like, this is absolutely one of those films that they utilize the IMAX. You gotta see it because it is just well worth it. From the sheer
Right.
fighting and the choreography to the effects on it. Like, dude, the camera work in this film is always phenomenal.
Definitely, man. Like, it's really a sight to see. It is great how it's like this original movie, right, based off of nothing. They just made it, right. It's doing this well. It has gathered such a fan base. It's so successful for itself. But it's just great to see. Like right now, this gen, it's a good time for like reboots or certain older series like Godzilla and like original IPs like we see with John Wick, what Jordan Peele's did with Get Out and Us, bro. Like it's a really good time
It
for
really
cinema.
is, and we're seeing a lot of actors who've had some really bad roles for a long while
Mhm.
finally come back and get the shine that they need to. Like, honestly, Keanu Reeves is one of those guys that absolutely has deserved his career and worked hard for it, and I'm glad to see that he's coming back.
Right. And Michael B. Jordan too with a fan four stick. Oh
Oh yeah,
man.
yeah.
The fact he was able to get past that, bro, that's a feat in itself
Oh
right there.
yeah. I mean, we already saw that old boy was able to do it with uh Chris Evans did after
Oh
his
yeah.
role as a Human Torch. We're 2 for 2 on Human Torches getting that comeback.
Yeah.
So
And it's part of the role, man. That's what makes him
it,
slide back into Marvel, bro.
just slide back in. Just, hey guys, that movie, yeah, not with it. Can we do something else?
That wasn't real me. Give me one more shot. I'll show you where I can stand.
Yeah, right. That's pretty much exactly how it went, and it worked out perfectly for them. And it could not have gone better. Honestly, it could not be better. And I'm thankful because now we had probably my favorite Cap. Like, honestly, dude, Chris Evans as Cap is just the best thing that I've seen. Like, he is honestly the perfect person for that, and I'm absolutely glad that we got him and not anyone else.
Right.
But along with that as well is that we also saw how Michael B. Jordan made his comeback as playing one of the best villains in the MCU with Killmonger. Like, come on, like,
Oh yeah, arguably one of the best.
yeah. I was like, so we can easily see that comeback anytime.
Mm-hmm.
But with that being said, I'm just glad to see Keanu is getting this film. Like, I'm so hyped for it. May cannot get here soon enough. I want to see this film. Everyone should go out and see this film. If you haven't watched the first two, go and watch it right now. I don't know if it's on Netflix, but if it is, do it. If not, go to your local Redbox and go rent that. You need to see it.
Support it some way, some shape, form, or how. Just you gotta give them that support because they
Yeah.
definitely deserve it.
Yeah, like, for real, man. Like, honestly, if I could, I would honestly, if I want to get all 3 Blu-rays, and I want Keanu Reeves to sign it. Like, I would kill for him to sign that film. I will legit go John Wick on somebody to get Keanu Reeves to sign my stuff.
Bro, don't become a home terrorist just for some signature, bro.
Yeah,
don't do it, bro. We had enough.
No,
We've had enough.
don't do it because we gotta get through that line some way. We gotta get to the front.
Oh shit.
Fuck everyone else.
Oh man, we can't take another shooting. No, bro.
Oh no, yeah, no. But I mean, we can't just beat everyone up though. You know, that's the thing.
Yeah, they'll come right back for us, man. There he is.
Oh, look, there's the Vegeta defender himself. What's good with you, G? He's probably still setting up his mic. But
Yeah.
there he is. What's going on, man? How's it going? How's it hanging? Oh yeah, he's still setting up his mic. But speaking of Keanu Reeves, right? we got a very special announcement that's near and dear to my heart, but also to G's heart because of the fact that he was the only other person that was excited for this. And Keanu Reeves they made a post on Twitter earlier this week that Bill and Ted 3 Face the Music is finally in production. They'll be shooting it over the summer, and it has a release date of summer of next year in August. And I am so excited because I love Bill and Ted, right? Bill and Ted were my favorite films. You know, you had Excellent Adventure and Bogus Journey. Even though you go back and look at those films and be like, yo, man, that's cheesy as hell. I loved the chemistry and the humor between Keanu Reeves and Alex Winter, and just the very like laid back, like hilarious 80s slang is still great to see nowadays, and I love it more than I should. And it's great that they finally got a script, that they're finally on this project and are able to get it off the ground. And I know I'm so happy, and for all the people that I know from that are all about that all about that film, especially those who were born back then and saw this film. Like, I know quite a few people are really happy to see this finally get off the ground because there's been talks about it for so long. G, I know you have thoughts on this. What are your thoughts on them finally announcing the film?
Yeah, I don't think Gus is stuff together yet. He's still muted himself.
Oh yeah, I think he's still setting all the way up. But what are your thoughts on them finally getting this project off the ground, starting production here soon for the film, and having a date for it as well?
Yeah, this is where we take a low point in the show. I never got a chance to finish the first one, so I'm not really all that familiar with the series. So I really can't relate on this breaking news for the series for all the fans who are excited for it to come back. Like, I can't.
Yo, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now, G.
All right, sweet.
Yeah, I can't fake my feelings about this because I haven't seen it yet, so I'm just like complete disconnect from all y'all right now. Everybody
you have disappointed me.
Meh. It's cheese, so it's gonna be hard for me to watch it.
He's just like it happens all the time. I'll let you down far too often.
Yep.
I was like, this is why you are a resident fraud.
Meh.
G, please tell me, please share in the excitement that we both share for Bill and Ted 3. I was like, I need someone to give me this hype energy.
It is like long overdue, bro. I can't wait. And that movie's gonna be great as long as they don't try to do what they did with Dumb and Dumber, bro.
Oh,
if it's nothing like that, then we're good, because that the originals are fantastic. The humor should be okay for this generation too, because you know how like that's kind of like the older style of humor. It's kind of different to what we get nowadays.
Yeah.
But I hope they can pull it off. I'm just excited.
I think so, because if you go back and rewatch those original films, the humor is still very much relevant today because of the fact that it's actual humor and it's not anything that. It's not dark humor or anything.
But
like
you know what? The actors are much older now, and Keanu Reeves hasn't really done anything like that. I'm not trying to put like cloud over the movie, but he hasn't really done anything of that stature in probably since the last one. Yeah, because I mean, look at the stuff he's doing now, like John Wick, all these more serious, more darker toned movies, and to see this one much lighter, funnier, I'm still excited for it. But it just you still have to be optimistic, you know.
Oh yeah, I was like, and you gotta think that him and Alex Winter are still very much, just a funny pair. I was like, so seeing them back together, I think it'll play off well because of the fact that the best thing about it is that they're keeping it still tied with the films as we know. It's still in that history. It's still following what was established. While not trying to do too much like they did with Dumb and Dumber or whatever they're gonna call it now. But it's just like, hey, they're in their 30s, 40s, whatever age that they said, and they're just like, they still haven't found the song that brings the world together. So now we're gonna see, you know, from when they were teenagers to when they're adults, and they're still trying to figure out the song that saves the world. You know, I want them to continue with that and play off that and let these dudes. Do you think they're gonna try to?
You think they're gonna try to find like two guys to play like younger them that comes into the movie where it's like you have older them and younger them, and they kind of like leave it up to the younger them to like carry the comedic portion of the movie?
I don't.
You think they'll try something like that?
I don't. I hope they don't.
But at the same time, you still don't want some two old ancient ass dudes. Like, I don't know, dude. Like, I just don't. Because I mean, look at Will Ferrell now. Like, his movies don't do so well anymore because it's like his humor is not funny anymore.
Yeah,
you don't want nothing.
I mean, you're not wrong there. But I don't think they're gonna do that. I mean, they can do that because they do all the timey-wimey stuff with the traveling, phone booth and stuff like that.
Yeah, the time travel. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but
so it could be like Back to the Future where you got young Marty McFly meeting his dad, something like that. But they don't have to know it's them, or they could know it's them, and that's part of the humor of it. I don't know. I'm still excited for it though.
Oh, I'm really looking forward to what they do with it because of the fact that. I mean, they can do it, but remember that they can't necessarily do too much with themselves. I mean, they have met their past selves and stuff like that. But the last few times, remember, is that it was still them at the same age. And then in Bogus Journey, it was them when they were younger, and they went to the phone booth and went to the future, and it was them when they're older. So they could do the opposite and be older, and they're just like, man, we need to meet with our younger selves. And sit there and talk with them and have some actors who look similar to how they looked when they were younger. Well, I don't know how they're going to do it, but I'm really excited for whatever they do because of the fact that I want to see what happens with it, right? That's just legitimately how excited I am for what they're going to do with this film.
Yeah, because it should have happened like 10, 15 years ago, man.
Yeah. What's that? Oh, I would have said like 20 because I would have put it like right in the late 90s, right? A little bit after it was, probably about good 20 years ago.
I was just trying to like not show my age, but all right, for sure.
Hey, bro, I was about to say, we all know how young I am, and I've watched those films, and those were well before my time. It's okay. You good. You're not that much older than us. Oh, but dude, I'm so excited for this. Like, legitimately, I love Bill and Ted so much, and I'm glad it's finally coming back. I mean, if you think about it, it's 30 years since the first film, right? The first one came out in 89.
Yep. And it was fantastic.
Yep. It was an excellent adventure.
Those movies and like Wayne's World were like the shit for me at that time.
Wayne's World is still a classic too. You could still go back and watch Wayne's World and it's still good.
Yeah.
I was like
Mike Myers, Dana Carvey.
Oh, dude, it's so great. A lot of Mike Myers' old stuff is still great.
Yeah.
But dude,
I agree.
Yeah, all I know is that I'm really glad that this film's finally coming out. That they finally got it off the ground after so long of trying to get it going for like the past 20 years.
And it is a perfect, it is a perfect time too because Keanu Reeves like movie stock is like way up because everybody loves those John Wick movies. Yeah. So like a lot of people will tune in to see it just because like everyone's aware of like how hot he is right now. So it does kind of like help with the timing and stuff like that.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying is that after like Constantine, his movie cred went down after that.
It was like
that John.
Because even The Matrix, like. The Matrix wasn't really like.
Well, The Matrix kind of gave him that shine for a while, but like I said, Constantine came after The Matrix, and that film was just. And then he did a few movies afterwards, and then he stopped for a bit, and then it was John Wick that put him back in the spotlight. Like John Wick was the like.
He did do a couple. He did do like a couple of good movies in between, but like you said, since his stock went, no one paid attention to him because I think it was like The Man of Tai Chi. That movie was pretty dope, dude.
Was it? I think. Was that? Yeah, I think you're right.
He was the villain in that movie. Like that movie was dope.
Yeah, I can't remember the last few. There was also like 47 Ronin. I thought that one was pretty cool.
Yeah, that movie was not good at all.
I thought it was good for the telling of the story of the actual 47 Ronin. I thought it was pretty cool. I wouldn't say it was great, but I thought it was pretty cool. That's just me though. But that came out the year before he did. Remember that was the year before he did, John Wick 1. So that literally came out in 2013, and then John Wick came out in 2014. So I was like, honestly, okay. I really enjoyed 47 Ronin, but that's also because of the fact that I liked the. I thought it was cool. I was probably younger at that point, but I liked the actual story of knowing the 47 Ronin, seeing their interpretation of it, and seeing the visual effects. But I thought he did pretty good in it. I honestly enjoyed it. But, you know, hey, I will definitely say it was not what definitely put him back in the spotlight. That was definitely all John Wick. Because that's what solidified him back as being an action star, you know? But I digress. I'm definitely looking forward to Bill and Ted 3. I can't wait. I want to start seeing pictures in the summer from the set. I want to see what they got going on. I want to see more of everything.
Just a fun tidbit. Like, did you know that the Matrix was originally supposed to star Sandra Bullock?
Actually, I did not. That's actually pretty interesting.
Yeah, she was supposed to be Neo, bro. Like, imagine.
I mean, I could see it. I could kind of see it. I was like, it's Sandra Bullock. She could do it. I was like,
who knows what those Wachowski brothers would have been up to, man?
I don't know, man. But I don't know, man. But I definitely, I'm just glad that it played out the way it did, and we're seeing that comeback. I always love when actors who've definitely had some really bad luck actually pull off a great comeback like that. Like, Keanu Reeves actually busted hard for his comeback, and it's well deserved. Now,
I agree.
Yeah. Now, hopping from the Keanu news, for those like us who are excited for going old school and reminiscing from the 80s and 90s, and talking about the new big action film coming out, another big remake is coming out that just put out a new trailer. And it is another classic that is absolutely redefining its name, and that is Godzilla. They put out a brand new trailer for King of Monsters, and every time they put out a new Godzilla film, dude, I get so excited because I love Kaiju. All right, I still have my old DVDs of all the old Godzilla films. I'm talking Godzilla versus King Ghidorah, Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla, Rodan, Godzilla versus Mothra. I have all of those, and I'm talking like the really bad ones from Japan that had the claymation and the little figures and the little figurines that they had with the strings. I don't care. All right, I love kaiju films, and when they did Godzilla back in 2014, 2015, right around there. I think it was actually earlier. Because I think right around that time, a few years later, they did Kong Skull Island. I was so excited for the return of Godzilla because Godzilla 2000.